Hey traders, John Howell here, and man oh man, are these markets exciting. Oh man, I absolutely love these markets. I'm so excited right now, guys, for these markets. We're getting a very big pullback in the stock market, much more than I really thought. So you know what, I'm gonna put my hand up and say, you know what, I was wrong about how far this was actually gonna pull back. I was wrong, I know, but that's okay. All right, the trading system is absolutely rocking out right now. Silver and gold has completely fallen off, and I saw that actually coming. I'll talk to you about how I saw that coming when it comes to silver and gold. I actually spoke about that with my private clients, but I'm going to talk to you about what to expect with the actual stock market moving forward, what's happening right now, what I'm seeing right now, and also silver and gold. So either way, guys, I'm so excited about this. I absolutely love trading because the market is so exciting. And when you have a trading system that you know that most of the time is going to generate a profit, doesn't matter what the market is, you know you're going to keep doing well. Let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, let's get straight into it. Now before I start, guys, I've had so many people ask me about about getting help from me and so on and so forth. So what I've done, guys, is I've created a trading course. It's about 12 videos long. Talk about the top biggest mistakes. I've got chart reading techniques, trading techniques. I've got a trading system in there. Money management, trade management. I even got an interview with my mentor of how he made almost $2 million in one trade and so much more. All right. If you click on the very first thing in the description, I'll go to johnsfreegift.com. Then it's completely free, right? Get access to that free trading course. I've put it together for free to give you the access of how to actually read the charts right now and tell me what's going on right now. What are some powerful trading techniques I can start to apply right now to make a big difference? What are some trading systems? What are the actual trading techniques and so on and so forth, right? So anyway, guys, very first thing in the description, go click on that right now, or just go to johnsfreegift.com. It's completely free. There's no credit card required, nothing like that. Just get access to some help right now so you can get some understanding of how to read the market right now moving forward. So let's actually start with the actual stock market itself. Okay, so the stock market has completely go down, and you know what, guys? When it comes to the actual stock market, I still do believe that this dip here is a buying of a dip before we see a nice rally. But the thing is, guys, is I didn't expect to see such a pullback in the markets. So that's where I did get it wrong, and I got my first hand up there. But that's okay, guys. That's okay. Moving forward now is what I'm so excited about with these markets is firstly, the trading system is absolutely just crushing it. They're doing so well. But what I'm seeing right now with actually the stock market is we've completely had a big move down through here, right? And the market is like an elastic band. And when the market, if I squeeze my charts right up here and I squeeze this right up here, notice how far we are away from this 52 moving average. Whenever the market does this, we end up getting a snapback. Now, when that snapback happens, I don't know when exactly when that's going to happen, but we will get some sort of if this is the start of a bear market, we will get a rally up, and then we'll see a roll over. In fact, if you actually look at my charts, this is my other charts here. Notice how we've got the monthly chart to the right and the weekly chart to the left, right? You can see how we're at that level there right now. At the level there, we're just slightly breaking through that right now, but it's the monthly chart and the weekly chart. We've just started this where we are right now, and we're breaking through. So we will eventually start to see a very nice sharp rally back, because this has been so vertical on the downside. And if you see even if you go to, like, say September the 11th, right, when that whole thing just completely, like, the market went on halt for a couple of days, but what ended up happening after September the 11th? The market rallied 60% of that move. So we will find a bottom soon, guys. Wherever that is, I don't know. I'm not trying to call bottom. I still do have my options there. I have June options, which they're not looking too good right now. But then I also have December options, and I also have some stocks as well too. So I'm still very confident in those positions as well too. That's 10% of my trading. 90% of my trading is done with a trading system that generates over a 90% success rate. And that's where most of my profit is generated. The trades I have right now, guys, on the SPY, say for example, I'm on the SPY right now, even if they're losing positions, hey, I'm a happy camper either way. So I'm just, oh man, I'm so excited about these markets right now. I love this volatility. So we're getting a break below the really interesting thing that I'm noticing here right now is, as you can see, the Dow Jones has actually broken below. We had a nice break below this low level through here, and we've continued to fall down through here. The S&P right now is almost at its low there, so I wouldn't be too surprised to see this thing flush down through here. And then I do see a potential sort of reversal through there, and a reversal coming up. Now the reversal probably won't happen straight away. We're probably going to get a lot of volatility where we are right now. And we just don't know when the snapback's going to happen, guys. But when this snapback does happen, we're going to see a very nice move to the upside. Now, looking back with this whole coronavirus situation, looking back over, if we look at, say, the swine flu that happened in 1919, we look at there was another virus that came out in 2009. We look at also the SARS. I even went over the SARS, what actually happened with the SARS. Especially with the SARS and what actually happened with the actual stock market with the SARS virus. That's going almost in line of what's actually happened with this coronavirus. And it hit really hard it hit February into March of 2003. And then all of March of 2003, it was pandemic. It was that, and then suddenly what happened? That was March, and then April, May. That's when things started to slow down a bit, and then come into June, July. That's when everything was contained, and the really interesting thing about that going back to that far is, if I actually see, let me see if I can bring up that chart there. I want to share something with you. Let me go back to, say, a monthly chart here for a minute. Right, we can actually see here that 2003 is, let me see if I can go to a 9-day. Can I go back that far? No, it won't let me, will it? No. Okay. Oh, yes it will. Yes it will. All right, cool. All right, so back at this time here, this is when SARS was actually happening. This was March 2003. The really interesting thing is, this is when SARS was actually going on, right? So SARS was actually a pretty big deal. We had a massive sell-off into here, and then suddenly we started to see a very, very, very big move up from there. So right now we're getting a very, very, very violent move down right now. We will eventually see a very sharp snapback, and whenever that happens, I don't know, guys. I'm positioned for that snapback right now, and I'm just so excited about these markets right now. So when we're directing to what's actually going on with SARS right now, or what actually happened with SARS, that we're actually identical in line with what actually happened with SARS. February it came out, not much going on. March was a disaster. The pandemic word came out. Travel was actually stopped, all that sort of stuff from countries, and travel ban and all that sort of stuff. That happened in 2003, in March of 2003. Once again, if I open up my chart even more and I go back to this monthly chart here, right? This here was March of 2003 when the whole SARS situation came out. Right here, there was March. And even though it wasn't contained, in the, you know what, let me just do this here right now. I'll bring up the investing chart here. And even though it wasn't contained fully, the market started to rally, showing that, okay, we may be getting out of this here right now. So it's really interesting. Let me see if I can bring this up here. I'm going to bring up the investing charts here for a minute and see if I can go back to that far. Let's go back to a weekly chart. Yes, I can. Okay, cool. All right. So let's look at this here. This is the chart here, guys. All right. So once again, I'm not saying that we're definitely at a bottom right now and things like that. I don't know. We could just keep going down right now. I doubt it. But the thing is again, this very big dip here, you wait when we do start to see a bit of a bottom, where there's actually a bit of a strength starting to come into where we are right now. So I wouldn't be too surprised if we started to see a bit of a bottom action coming soon. So anyway, let's have a look at this here, right? Look at back here. This here is March, all right? So around about this period through here, right? This was March right here, right? So this whole section through here is March. This is when everything was absolutely pandemic in the SARS situation. There was travel bans. There was all that sort of stuff, right? And then that was March, and then April, May. Look what happened here. March, April, and then May started to pick back up through here. And then by June, it was actually June and July into August. That's when they said the virus was contained. So I actually see something similar happening in the markets and with this, and with the whole coronavirus as well too, right? Probably around that June, July, it's probably be contained. But if you're going to wait for this whole thing is contained, then get back into the stock market, you may be missing out on a very, very big dip. Now, when I say you may be missing out on a very good dip, what I'm talking about, at least a 12 month to a 2-year view. That means that the market drops down, and if the market drops down and I'm buying into here, right? Let's do this here. So if the market right now the market's made a high, okay, then it's dropping down through here, and I buy into here, right? And it drops down another 10%, but then it rallies back up within 2 years. That's where I bought there, okay? So that's what I mean by a long-term view. So as again, guys, I'm comparing this to the SARS situations, and again, short-term, guys, next week or probably this month, we're probably gonna have a lot of volatility. But you know what? But say by June or July this year, we're probably likely to start to see everything contained. But by then, we probably would have already seen a very, very, very nice snapback by the time that happens. Coming into it, so the snapback's going to happen a lot quicker, man. But man, this drop here was a lot more than I actually originally thought. Anyway, so that's what's happening there right now. Once again, I do see the stock. I actually do see the S&P dropping down a little bit more. The reason why is there's actually a low level through. There's probably a lot of stops that's happening around that level there right now. So probably a bit of a drop down through there. And then I believe we'll probably get a bit of a volatility for a few weeks, and then we may even start to see that movement back up. But because this has been so sharp on the downside, we're probably likely to see a very sharp snapback in the markets there. And the excuse me, the one that's actually the strongest out of all of them is the Nasdaq. So really exciting time. So that's what I'm seeing through there, guys. And that's a bit of an overall market update. The one stock I actually do really like when it comes to this here is actually JP Morgan. I'm long JP Morgan right now. I've actually got options in that one there right now. Again, I'm long where we are right now. I don't really care what happens here, but I do believe that once we start to see this snapback over the next, say, few weeks to a month, when we start to see this very sharp snapback, JP Morgan's likely to do that as well too. And again, when we do get the snapback, we're probably going to rally to the 52 moving average at least, which is a 50 to a 62% of this down move. So if I look at, say, the S&P 500, and if I look at the S&P 500 right now, if the market drops below where it is right now, if we do get a snapback, we're probably likely to rally back up towards that 3,000 level, at least if we're going to turn into a bear market, and then we're probably likely to roll over. So that's what I'm seeing through there, guys. Please do not think this market is going to just keep doing this, because we will get, if you're going to call it a bear market rally, we will get something like that to equalize what is going on right now. So really interesting times, guys, but I absolutely love this volatility in the markets, because all this volatility is producing some amazing opportunities when it comes to my trading system and how I actually trade the markets. Once again, guys, I must say this, that when I'm investing for 12 months or 2 years of you, like right now on the SPY and so on and so forth, those situations are for a longer term. I have no idea what's going to happen right now or the next month. I don't really care. Now, what's really exciting is silver and gold. Oh my goodness. Let's have a look at this here. So gold actually came back down, and we came all the way down to this support level through here and bounced off. We had a bit of a double top. I actually did a video on this day right here, and I said that I see a bit more weakness actually coming into gold, and we actually got that sell off through there. So really exciting things for gold. But if we look at that weekly chart with gold, guys, if you look at the weekly chart with gold, we're still in a very big bull market. So this is just a nice, we came up, small pullback, and the rally up again. We're having a nice pullback here. I'm still very bullish long term when it comes to gold. And if we see what's actually happening with gold right now, I do believe gold is actually getting ready for a turning point real soon to go for another big run. This sell-off that we're seeing through here right now, it's probably going to be very short-lived before we start to see a move up, especially when it comes to gold. So we may be getting ready for that point very, very soon to see another move up out of gold. Now moving on to silver. As I said before, I saw this move down on silver. And how did I see this move? I actually talked about this with my private clients. Look at this here, guys, right? How the markets work is what? And I'll talk about this again in that free trading course. I really go into detail of this. There's an uptrend and there's a downtrend, right? An uptrend, we have higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, right? Very simple. But if we have a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, then what? We have a downtrend. Who's in control? Sellers. So when I saw this low, this higher low, we had this double top, and then we had this lower low, lower high, and then breaking past previous lows. Who's in control here? Sellers, right? Very, 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 very simple stuff. We made a lower high. We made a lower low, then a lower high, and then breaking past previous lows. Sellers are in control. And because we had been doing nothing at that time, I knew that sell-off was probably likely to be very, very strong. Again, a simple basic analysis about something powerful like that. And then I said that we're probably likely to run back down towards and flash these lows through here because there's massive, massive, massive amount of stops where we are right now. So silver has absolutely been hammered. Now, for you guys that are long term on silver, such as I am, I actually have a couple of years worth of options in silver. So right now they are underwater, but again, all I care about is where are they basically at the end of 22, you know what I mean? Or yeah, at the end of January 22, what the options are. Actually, let's go to SLV. Yeah, so where are they? So January 22. So where are they at that time there, right? So I've got a couple of years worth of time. As you know, anything can happen over the next 6 months with this one here, so I'm not really worried about this here. I'm actually using this opportunity to buy even more longer term stuff. But here's the thing, guys. If this is going to be some sort of a sucker rally before we see a very big move up in silver, you would want to see one thing. But right now, before I get into that, let me share this chart with you here. Right? This is another chart that I've got on another screen, as I shared before. And look at this monthly chart here. This is the monthly chart to the right. We had a low. We had all this low through here, run up. We had a bit of a bull flag, and now we've actually rejected it. That's actually not looking good for the bulls on a monthly basis. Now, anything can change on this monthly bar here, but if we do not suddenly stop here if we hold here for a bit and then rally back up, right? This is actually the weekly chart over here. Actually, you know what? Let me actually bring up the actual silver price itself. Right, so this is the silver price itself. As you can see, I have this on another screen so I can really get a good view of what's going on here. Monthly chart actually broke down solidly, and so this is the weekly chart. It actually broke down solidly, and you can see where the weekly chart is closing there. Right, or it's the weekly. This is with the weekly chart right now. We're still at the rest of the week right now, as you know. But here's the thing, guys. If this is going to be some sort of a final low before we start the bull market, for you guys that are bulls, you'll want to see this. You would want to see the market hold. It may hold for a few weeks and then rally back above this $14 level. This is called an end of trend indicator, a false breakout. And then we're probably likely to start to see a very, very, very strong move to the upside. I'll share some how you know what actually happens through there. So let me share. Ego was one, right? This was actually one that actually see this circle here. Notice how we went low, low. We broke down, went sideways, we broke back above, and that actually sparked a very big uptrend. It's since reversed, but that was actually a very nice move through there. Bill was another one. As you can see, if I go back and Bill in time, you can see how it actually dropped below the low through here. Low, low, went sideways. We got back above. As soon as it got back above, that sparked a rally through there. So that's what you would want to see when it comes to the actual silver and gold. So for you guys that are long-term investing, guys, this is a really good opportunity to be looking for more longer-term stuff. I do see silver being a very, very good opportunity through there. Right now, it's a short-term stuff. But again, guys, if you're investing in these markets, you shouldn't really care what happens this week or this month, okay? If you're buying to pick up on the next 2 years or what that does, because you see over the next 2 years, this is going to be a good bull market, then that's all you should be worried about. The last thing you want to be doing is looking out, oh, look what today it is. I shouldn't have bought today and all that sort of stuff. No, don't do that. Don't try and pick tops and bottoms if you're long-term investing, right? Because like in 2008 when the Lehman Brothers was collapsing, guess what? The best time to be buying is when the Lehman Brothers was collapsing, right? That was the end of 2008. Wasn't the bottom though, right? We saw another 20% decline in the markets, didn't we? But if you bought stocks at that time, if you bought a couple of years worth of options at that time, let me go back to this. I want to drive this point home with how I'm doing this stock market as well too right now, right? This is the Dow Jones weekly chart. What I'm looking at right now is what's going to happen, where we're going to be by the end of this year. So if I go back and I have a look at, say, 6-day view, actually let's go to a 7-day view, right? If I go back and then have a look at the actual stock market, right here is what when? Right here around, let me open up the chart a bit more so we can get a bit more of a much better view through here. Right, so September into October, this is when the whole Lehman Brothers was collapsing, right? Collapse of Lehman Brothers, and around about here, September, October, November. Guess what? That was the perfect time to be what? To be buying stocks long term. What I mean by that is over the next 12 months, over the next 2 years, right? And so that's the way you want to be looking at if you buy long term. That's how the smart investors, that's how you make a really, really, really good amount of money over a long period of time, right? You buy stocks and you're not trying to pick a bottom. You just know, oh, look what happened a year or so later, all right? We had a rally and then we had a drop. Don't try and pick tops and bottoms. So when I'm buying the dip right now on the SPY and say even the silver market, I'm not trying to pick a bottom. Even if it does drop even more a lot, then you say, okay, this has a very good chance of finding a very nice move back to the upside when we do get a snap back and so on and so forth, right? Just like we were here. There was blood in the streets right here, right? Banks are going to collapse. It moved out a little bit more, but then we see a nice rally up. And as you know what happened from there, it was the best buying opportunity in history. That's the way you want to be looking at the markets right now. Or that's the way you want to be looking at, if you're looking at the metals, if you're looking at anything long term, you want to be looking at that. And that's where, like with my private clients, I say that if you're looking at, say, an SLV option, you want to be buying as an SLV option. You want to be buying as much time as possible and then letting it go. SLV, buying at least January 22 and then letting that thing go and not caring what happens over the next 2 weeks or the next few weeks or next few months, right? You just don't care. You just know, you believe that 2 years from within the next 2 years, we're likely to see a very, very, very nice move up. And even if the market does drop a little bit more and all that sort of stuff, you don't care, okay? If you are approaching the markets with an investing position, with a trading mentality, you're going to kill yourself every single time. And what I mean by that is that if you're getting in the markets, like, okay, you know what, I'm getting in right now because I know over the next 12 months, we're probably likely to pick back up, like on the SPY. Then if I'm getting into that with that view and then saying the next week we're down, I'm freaking out. Now I'm applying a trading mentality to an investing position. When I trade the markets with a trading system. And so should you, right? As I said before, 90% of my trading, guys, is actually done with an actual trading system, like trading rules. And the other 10% is stuff like I'm doing here right now. This is an amazing opportunity, guys, and I'm so excited right now. And I can see how things are going to fold out through here. It's looking really, really, really scary right now, guys. But look at every single time. Look at even 1990, right? 1990 was the swine flu. I think that was the swine flu. Guess what happened? Guess what happened the next decade after that? The Roaring 20s, 1920s, right? The Roaring 20s. So when everything looks bad on the short term, stop focusing on, oh, but the market went down 3,000 points today. It's like, yeah, so, and what's your point? Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, that's what you'd be looking at. If you are trading these markets, make sure you have a set of rules. Like when I'm trading markets, I have a set of rules that I'm looking to get into. I'm doing this, guys, because I see so many people just guessing, oh, well, the market's definitely going to keep going down and all that sort of stuff. You are guessing for what you're doing there. If you believe the market's going to rally higher, buy longer term, have longer term options, or buy really, really good stocks on this dip. Who cares if you don't get the exact bottom, the market drops another 5 or 10%, because the belief is we're likely to rally back up. And I still am the big belief, guys, by the end of this year, we would rally up and actually close these gaps up here. You can see the Dow Jones has this gap up here, right here. We have the S&P 500, we have this gap here, and then the Nasdaq has this gap here. I'm a very, very, very big believer, guys, that by the end of this year, the markets will be rallied up, will be actually at all-time new highs, and breaking up there. But at the end of the day, guys, I could be wrong. And that's okay. Why? Because I have my trading system that I always fall back onto that makes me mullah when I stick to the rules.